Yeah, hi everybody. I want to run through some steps. We've got an assignment here where we need to do some scales in analogous intervals and warm to cool intervals, and I'm going to show you how to do it, my way of doing it in Photoshop, kind of old school. So let's jump right into Photoshop here, and here's the template they've provided for us. And what I want to do, I want to use my color wheel to reference as I start picking analogous colors. So I'm going to open up canvas size. I'm going to make it about 950. Okay, move this over. And then I've got my color wheel open over here, my traditional wheel. That's the one that I designed with. I think it works great. There's no reason for me to use the other wheels at this point. And I'm just going to reference this for analogous colors. So there's my color wheel I can look at. Now, so what do we want here? They say we want a warm analogous interval with parent colors varying in its value and saturation. Now, I'm going to make my parent color in the middle, and let me flatten this. There we go. Nice. I'm going to make my parent color red, and that's going to be full saturation, right? Now, I'm going to copy that, paste it. And I'm going to look at my analogous colors here. Remember, what are analogous colors? Analogous colors are colors next to one another on a wheel. And you would use them if you wanted a very harmonious, woven together, in terms of colors. Nothing stands out more than anything else. It's not like a complementary color scheme or a split complementary color scheme or a tetradic color scheme or anything like that. So it would be red and red violet and red orange. Now, the biggest mistake people make is they stray too far over when they're they go like maybe 4 steps instead of 3, and all of a sudden they're working with these wonderful rich, warms and red violets and red orange and red, and then they stray over to violet and you start going, whoa, I'm starting to look cool. And then you get into a warm, cool kind of a color scheme. So don't do that, right? Now, so what's our analogous color scheme for red? We could go red, red, orange, orange. We could go red, red, violet, and red, red, orange. Let's try something like that. So, and if you look at the assignment, they want us to end up with a difference in value and saturation. All right. So, let's make sure that's selected. I like to hide my selection when I'm messing with it. I think let's make the hue. Let's see, what happens if we go up? We don't want to go up too much. We want to go up because it's going to be analogous. Let's go up towards our oranges, our yellows, right? So I'm going to add 10, all right? And I go back to my background layer. I'm not going to flatten it this time. I'm just going to make sure I go back to my background layer. Actually, before I do that, I want to copy this color, and then I want to go to my background layer, and I want to select this with my magic wand. I want to paste it. I want to do Control U, and I want to bring the hue up again in 10, right? I'm starting to get over into that orange. Maybe I should do it, 5. Maybe I should, I don't know. You got to play with it so you get in kind of a nice transition there. Now, let's start taking it down in saturation at the same time. -10. Let's try that, okay? And then I'm going to copy this, go over to my background layer, select, paste, Control U. Let's bring that up. Was 10 too much? Maybe. 5. Let's do 5, and then let's do -10 again, so we can start getting it desaturated. All right. Now let's go over here and copy this again. Let's go to the other. Let's go to the left. So we're going to click on this. We're going to paste. Control U. Apple U. And here we're going to do -10. Okay. Do we want to start desaturating right away? We could. Okay. Copy that. Go over to my background layer, which I didn't do there. Paste it. Control U. -10. And desaturate that again. Let's do, what happens if we go 10? Is that too much? Is it starting to get starting to stray a little bit over into that reddish violet, isn't it? I might do -5 on this. And here I've got my warm interval. I look over, I check, make sure they're related, and I'm ready to go to the next one. Okay, now we're kind of limited in time on what we can do on these tutorials. I'm going to let you do the cool. It's going to be the same thing. Pick yourself a cool, put your blue in there, and I would probably flatten it at this point. Do your cools and desaturate as you go, or make it darker. It can be value or saturation, and kind of end up. But make sure again when you look at the colors, they look related. But let's do our warms to cools. They want warm to cool, high key, and strong in saturation. Okay, I'm going to do strong in saturation instead of light. I just want it to be saturated. Okay, so I'm going to pick this, and I want this to be warm to cool. So what's warm, right? I don't know. I'm just going to go with red. Boom. Now, I want to go to cool, so copy, paste, and I'm going to bring up Control U. Now, what kind of intervals do I need to get to cool, do you think? If I do it in intervals of 20, will I get to cools? 60, 80, 100, 120. Maybe I need to do it in 30s. Hold on, let me check. Okay, so I'm going to have to go at minus if I want to go to cools. So I'm going to do minus 20. Boom. Copy. Go to my background layer. Paste. Control U. Let's do that minus 20. Copy. Make sure you go to your background layer. Paste. Control U. Minus 20. Looks pretty warm to me. I don't know. Let's get cool here real soon. Let's get cool. Alright. Control V. I don't know. Let me see. Minus. I'm going to have to start cheating. There we go. Now we're starting to get cool. Okay. Copy. Background layer. Paste. Control U. Minus 20. Oh yeah, now we're getting cool. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Whoops, I don't want to do that. Background. Paste. Now, let's just make sure that we end up with a cool. Minus 20. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. These are all, full saturation, right? Now, if you wanted to play with light to dark, you could. Now, I'm going to cheat a little bit here. I'm going to flatten this. I mean, you could do the same thing down at that bottom one. But since they just want warm to cool and then warm to cool but low key, so let's just do a low key one. But let's shift click through. I think I can do this. Copy. Boom, boom. Boop, 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 boop. Paste, and then we're going to do our hue saturation, but let's make it low key, right? Look at that. Beautiful. And we're done. Probably could have done it up here as well if we just dragged the hue saturation slider. The hue slider around. But anyway, there you have it. Let me know if you have any questions. It's important to be able to, make colors, be the boss of the colors. Don't let them be the boss of you. So just make sure that you know how to go from warm to cool, and with your different saturations and your different values.